Hey everyone, welcome back. How have you guys been doing? How's your week been going? How did we feel about the Queen of Cups this week? I wanted to kind of start going back to the card from Tuesday. We have the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups was all about our intuition, um, following along with signs and things that we see, and just kind of getting into like healthy practices. And this week for me, I can take from that, it was really hard. I've been having a bit of a creative block, and that's something that's new for me. I once I get into a groove, I'm in a groove, and like I said, I love to talk. I can talk this week. I don't know, is it because we're like getting ready to go into Virgo, and I'm Virgo rising. So I really start to feel really earthy and like pulled down, and I want to stay inside. It's like I'm already like prepping for fall or something inside my body. And during those times, I'm a little more quiet. I'm a little more gentle. My energy starts to calm down a little bit. So I feel like that might have something to do with why my creative synapses are not just popping. Um, so in order to get through that, I've been trying to kind of do a little bit more planning. And I feel like Virgo season is about planning and is about kind of getting yourself in more of a routine. Because in the summer, we're like, go, 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 go. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And Virgo season is more like prepping yourself for relaxing and getting back into routines that aren't of summer. Vacations kind of come to an end, and you kind of start to try to get a rhythm back before the season starts to change, because we know like we lose time and it starts to get darker earlier and we become a little bit more sleepy. So we have to like lean into our routines a lot, which is another reason why those rituals and those routines, a lot of those are not about the fact that I have to wake up at 5 a.m. or I need to do something by a certain time. It's really about me training my body to continue to react to my normal stimuli, even when the sun isn't out or it's darker really earlier, like not going to sleep before I'm supposed to. Because that's the thing when the time changes. Like last year I struggled. I was going to bed at, I kid you not, probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I couldn't tell the difference. My body's like, oh, it's night. Let's go. Let's go ahead and go to sleep. So I try to create cycles to make sure that this doesn't happen to me. So this card meant a lot to me because it is about following intuition. It is about, I can tend to make things really technical, and that's very Virgo of me too, to make things really technical sometimes that don't have to be. So I'm trying to lean into a little bit more of it just being like, all right, this is going on, this is a cycle, this is happening, but what you really need to do is chill out, pay attention to your intuition, and it's going to tell you all the creative stuff that you need to know. So this episode, leaning into that, is about love. And I don't think I've talked about it. I don't think I've talked about being in love or falling out of love, and if that's even an option, for people. I want to say I'm not gonna be like I'm a relationship person. I accept one when it comes, and I feel that I can lean into it. But I've always been open to love, and this is something that I've learned from familiar relationships. I've learned from everything, is that when I broke up with someone or I was no longer with someone, I never denounced love. I never said, I can't stand these dudes. They are out here doing all this crazy. I don't care about stuff like that. So I wanted this episode of Real Talk to be real talk about love, real talk about the love and its languages and how we accept it and what's going on. Like, are we turning it away? And after, I have to say, like, there's before where you're like dating and then you get married. Those are like two different whole constructs of love. When I married before, I married because I was in love. I was definitely in love with this person. I really thought that this person was the bee's knees. But what I realized is that my ideal of love changed with every year that I got older. My idea and my thought philosophies around what it should look like changed each and every year, each and every growth spurt, each and every period where I was being forced to change or take on new seasons in my life, be it opening up a business or be it this, like each time it changed. So there's love languages. There's ways that people desire to be loved, to be treated in a relationship, and how we're speaking to those languages as people grow. Because I think we get so caught up in like, well, you used to be like this, instead of looking and asking a person like, I remember that you used to like these things. Do you not like these things anymore? What has changed? And how do you want to receive love now? And I think that's really important. I feel like if you have a significant other, I feel like if you feel that you have reached this point where something seems to kind of be off, have an open dialogue. Be able to talk to each other. I can say in my new relationship, we do have moments where we can have open thought and open talk. And if I feel vulnerable and I feel like something's going on, I can get into what it is with this person, and hopefully we can see where we can shift some things to kind of not make this person change their ways, but maybe they can lean into a little bit of my ways. And I kind of go off of that from the love languages. So there's 5 love languages according to Gary Chapman, and you can look that up. You can go to 5lovelanguages.com and you can check out what they are. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. And those are really important. I think he really hit the nail on the head with picking out these little tiny fundamental things that each person either wants or explicitly doesn't want. So words of affirmation are words to affirm other people. Acts of service, actions speak louder than words. Receiving gifts, self-explanatory. But gift giving is an art, and you really have to know how to do it if it's the way you speak or the way you receive love. Quality time, giving the other person your attention. Undivided attention is important to put in there. And physical touch is the appropriate touch. They had a quiz there. I took the quiz. It was pretty on point. So if I can go before I give my quiz results, before in my relationship, what was super important to me was acts of service. And I know most ladies would be like, absolutely not. But doing something for me was really important to me when I was in my late 20s. I'm in my mid 30s now, I guess, like early 30s. And I want to say early, like probably about 31. I walked out of that, but 31, 32. But I really felt like if you did something for me, like I don't care if it was like you just noticed that I was really tired and you put my clothes in the dryer and they were dry when I woke up, and you know that I was going to need something from out of that laundry heap. You hung the moon right there in that moment, because it stopped me from having to run around like a chicken with his head cut off in the morning and trying to figure out what to do. It really just was like, man, you really thought about me. You really cared about me. You didn't wake me up and say, hey, your clothes need to be put in the dryer. You actually put them in the dryer, or you went and you put gas in my car because you noticed it was, empty. I really, those were things that were really important to me then. And words of affirmation. Like these are, I'm starting to think that these things are kind of self-centered a little bit. But words of affirmation, I love for someone to be like, man, you did that, or I'm proud of you. Like pats on the back. Like and I can say that those don't speak to me still. They give me a little bit more confidence as a creative person, as somebody who's constantly doing things that doesn't necessarily seek others' approval, but that you kind of want people to like your stuff, to like your work, to like your art, to like what you're putting out. And since starting to date again, I realized that I had to adjust myself to see what my new partner liked, what kind of made this person happy. And I surprised myself because I realized that I too had changed. Like what I required and what I wanted from love had changed through this interim of kind of getting to know myself and that self-care and that self-love. How was I asking to be loved moving forward? Because it was not the same from the last relationship, from what I needed, from what I wanted. And this quiz on the website, 5lovelanguages.com, basically showed me like the extent of my change. And they score you out of 12. I got a 9 out of 12 for physical touch. What? Okay, this is someone who would probably only put a foot on you in the bed that we slept in because you probably like to be touched. And I'm like, well, I got a foot for you and I'm going over here because it's cool over here. If we touch, it's going to be too hot if we're too close to each other for me to take a good sleep. And then 8 out of 12 I got for quality time, which you also couldn't tell me that quality time was important to me because I was really busy a lot of the times. And quality time was whenever we got to spend with each other. It didn't matter if you were watching sports and I was on my computer. If we were in the same room, I considered that quality time. So it wasn't really like I was putting an emphasis on needing to go out or us doing something to connect to each other. So the fact that quality time is 8 out of 12 for me just blew my mind. And then again, you have words of affirmation because I still like to know that I'm doing a good job and I kind of want your feedback. I want you to tell me what you think about something I'm doing. Do you think it's cool? Do I look okay? Like I do still like that. And I guess, okay, so I guess my question to you is, how do you give love? Like, how are you giving it out? Like, how are you asking your partner, hey, how do you like to be loved? How do you receive love? What are your love languages? Are you more words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch? Because sometimes we have to tell our partners these things. We have to. The other day, I told my significant other that I liked words of affirmation. It was the first one I can think of. The touch it's not a problem. That already happens because that's that person's love language. Touch is the way that you speak to this person. So that already meshed well. I feel like that's kind of both of our number ones. Another one for him would definitely be actions speak louder than words. So acts of service. So if you are saying something, you better do it. That is a good lesson I have learned from him. And it works for me. I don't mind acts of service. It kind of keeps me honest and it keeps me doing some stuff that I need to do too. We're both like on our own little journeys and missions. So sometimes we have to hold each other accountable. We have to take some time away sometimes so we can work on our own things. And I think that that's something I didn't demand in other things too. So that, this person is demanding their time to do their own soul work. And I think that that's wonderful. I'm very attracted to that. But I had to tell him, and not because he didn't know, but this is just not how he gives love normally, is to give words of affirmation. So, definitely I get words of affirmation. Don't get me wrong. There's a pat on the back. There's definitely like, I'm proud of you. You did that. Way to push through. There's all those things. But sometimes you have to tell the person, like, that is work. That's work. That's a work affirmation. I want to have a love affirmation. And a love affirmation is just being like, I'm not going to even say there's no compliments. I'm going to say, I really like you. I like where this is going. Kind of just telling you like kind of where you stand sometimes, because I think it's easy to kind of get lost in just text messaging and, an occasional phone call, but we're talking about our day. No one's really saying like, man, I'm really vibing with you. I hope that this continues. So I like that personally, but I was not. Women, we kind of have to demand the things that we want because, we get in our heads about things, but I'm going to tell you that men have zero clue what we're talking about most of the time. They don't remember telling you anything crazy, or they don't remember, not saying something because it was like your special day or something. You really have to just put it in your mind that sometimes they know, but if you're dating somebody and you're dating somebody honestly, that sometimes like the things that we're upset about kind of go over their heads a little bit. So we kind of really do have to get back in there and start asking for what we want. And I do want to include that, which I thought was interesting. The most popular love language, of course, is quality time. And quality time is most popular with men and women. So people are liking to spend time together, and I think that's really cool. And quality time is really going to touch on spending undivided time with each other. No one's on their phone. No one is multitasking, folding laundry, or, on their computers. It really is about undivided quality time. A lot of the times I bring my computer with my friend, and I don't end up on it, even if he's just on his, it doesn't bother me because that's not a love language for me. If you got work to do your work. Because I'm attracted to a working person, and that's kind of what I ask for. So I'm not at all perturbed about you being on your computer. I'm like all about being into the quality time moment. I'm probably looking at your computer, asking you questions about what you're doing because I'm inquisitive. I want to know like what you're looking at, helping you design a business card, or like looking at just your work. So, but it is quality time for men and women. And the second is physical touch. Like, I know ladies think that men do not like to be touched, but come on, they're like the biggest babies of all. They love to be shown affection. And I don't care if they tell you like they're all macho in front of their friends or something. When you get at home and you're just kind of like hugging up on him, or kind of letting him lay on you or something like that while you like rub his back, girl, silly putty. Men like to be touched. And the third one is words of affirmation for men. Also, men want to know that they're like doing the stuff right. So tell your man good things about himself. I definitely do this, but again, I told you I'm a DJ Khaled, so I'm going to tell you everything about you. Like, I really like you. I think you're amazing. You're so smart. You're handsome today. I like your hat. Like, I'm going to tell you everything about you that I enjoy, because those are things that I feel like people don't highlight enough. Like, we don't tell each other like the special things about each other. Like, I like the way you smell. You may not even have on any cologne. I just like the way you smell. You smell different from someone else. And I'm going to let you know that I like the way you smell above all. Like, I want to smell you all the time. So be over here with me, because, I appreciate those little things about you. I appreciate you, boo. So, women, I mean, I'm pretty sure we fit in there, but like, it was mostly the last two were majority men who like physical touch and words of affirmation. I'm going to close out. I'm going to keep this one really, really simple. And just, I wanted to throw that out there because I think I'm going to touch on love in a much, much deeper framework. But this came up a lot for me this week. And I don't know if like I told you, I'm getting into my Virgo, and it's getting all moody and antsy right now because the seasons are changing, and, everything is changing within me as well. Going into this new chapter. But I spoke to a part of your creative is tapping into realizing when the universe is speaking to you too. It's giving you certain things, and a lot of things that kept coming up for me this week were, a little bit of worry in my relationship, not over the structure, but the structure is sound, but voicing the things that I needed from a relationship, voicing how I want to be loved, because in previous relationships, I kind of just went along with whatever the person did. If you liked buying me gifts, by golly, just keep buying me gifts. It would be stuff that I would lose in a month because it had no value to you. You just gave me a gift because you thought it was cute. That's not my love language. You know what I'm saying? Like, Valentine's Day, this is what speaks to me. Like, you have to give me a gift that has like a good meaning to it. I was always, even as a kid, surprised by gifts that I thought I wasn't even getting, because my mom would be like, nah, I'm never getting you that. And it'd be under the Christmas tree, you know? It was teaching me some sort of a lesson about waiting and stop demanding of things, and it was always there. So, my Valentine's Day gift, Valentine's was grandiose in other relationships, and I didn't get it, you know, but I'm all about going to get something to eat. I'll go get something to eat and, you know, other extravagant gifts. But for me, this Valentine's Day was a card that said how grateful this person was to have me, and then also a sweatshirt that I wanted off this person's back, but you got me my own. Like, it's like, here's your sweatshirt. You take this one. And then, you know, some sweets. And that was enough. That was fine. I don't have to, like, boast or show my gifts. I'm not that kind of person. So, really, I'm the kind of person, you give a gift, I almost want to hide it until, like, later and open it when you're not around, because I don't want to hurt your feelings if I don't like it. Or it just have to be some big thing that you got me this gift. It's lovely. But it's like, I really just want to be with you. I want to spend time with you. I want quality time. 8 out of 12. we could have just been together. But we really do have to have those dialogues with our lovers to tell them the things that we need. So in the back end, we won't be hurting so much. I feel like a lot of hurt that comes from love is from miscommunication. We're just not communicating with each other. We're not telling each other the things that we really, really need to go forward. So a lot of the times when I'm talking to my girlfriends and I'm like, yeah, they have to tell me too. Don't get this wrong, because I get all the way up in my head. The question is, like, did you tell him explicitly, like, that you don't like that? Or did you tell him, you know, about how, like, you like to be prompt on time? Are we sharing these things with each other? And I think you'll have a very, very interesting lesson to learn about putting your love language out there for other people to see, and expressing how you desire to be loved going forward. And I feel like if we just did that a little bit and understood also that can change with time, with kids, with age, with new jobs, with new things, like the way that we need to be loved will always change. And I feel like when we open a dialogue about love in that manner, we can start to heal ourselves from this traumatic love, because we never would get into those situations for longer, because we would realize that this person is not ever going to be able to love me the way I need to be loved, because they're not willing to compromise, and they're also just not willing to switch up the way they want to, you know, give love. You know, they're more concerned about receiving and not necessarily about giving it out. So we have to realize those traits in people and start to heal ourselves. But before I close, I'm going to take a break and we can hear a word from our sponsors. All right, welcome back. So, hopefully during that break, you had some chance to listen to our sponsors, and you also had a chance to think, like, how do I like to be loved? What's my love language? How does my partner like to be loved? Do I know this about my partner already? Can I go home and start a dialogue with my partner about how we can love each other better? Because we can love better. Our society is taking a whole turn towards our ideas about love. But I think that's a good amount of homework. Like, still live with the Queen of Cups the rest of this week and try to lean into that energy. Start kind of getting into your Virgo Earth Mother mode and figure out, like, things that you love and things that you don't, so you can know how to express your love language to your partner as well. And also go take the quiz at 5lovelanguages.com. So moving forward, fun things for Real Talk with Michelle stuff that's upcoming. This is the 13th episode, guys. I'm super excited about that. It's 13. I did this 13 times, okay? That's a lot for a Gemini to sit down every week. I started this on July 6th, so we went over a month, and we have 13 episodes, and they're great. So it's a complete body of work. Like my favorite TV shows, I was telling Bae, my favorite TV shows have 13 episodes for a season. This isn't the end of the season. This is just going to be a mini break. I'm going to take a mini break. It's going to allow me to get some content, speak to some people about some stuff, and also really come up with some really cool topics and talk to some people that I've been needing to talk to about episodes and editing and all the things that go on behind the scenes that people don't see. I'm going to give it 2 weeks realistically, 1 week to formulate a plan, another week to actually sit down with the plan and kind of really, really implement it. And for me, 2 weeks is a great amount of time that I have open to really explore some of the things that I want to bring to you. Some of this fun, fresh content that is going to blow your mind. It's going to be really good. So in the meantime, if you haven't listened to all the episodes, catch up. Listen to every single episode. Start from the beginning and really delve into some of the topics and the things that got me to this 13th episode. And the first 2 episodes are raw. They're me just sitting down being like, you know what, I'm going to start my podcast today. I'm doing it. And I threw those out there and I just said, you know what, they're either going to listen or they're not. And here we are 13 episodes later and you guys are still listening. Tell your friends, like, rate, subscribe. That's really important to me. Leaving reviews, leaving me voicemails and Anchor. That helps me be able to see what you guys actually really like. I'm going to be harassing you during these weeks and I'm going to be asking you, send me feedback, friends. Don't just tell me like, this is cool. I want you to really engage with me. Really tell me some stuff that you guys really want to hear me talking about. A lot. Some of you know me. I always want to say a lot of you. Some of you know me and some of you know some of the things I've been through and you kind of might have some questions. You might feel like, is this a safe space for me to come forward and share some of my concerns or share something that I'm interested in seeing? I've been doing a lot of research, a lot of research about women's topics and some of the stuff that we're all kind of going through as a collective. And like I told you, when I was saying about meeting your tribe and talking to people that I've been moving in different friendship circles and I've kind of been talking to people about different issues that are going on with Black women, that are just going on with women in general. And it's been great dialogue. So I'm writing down a lot of stuff. There's a lot of new beginnings. There's a lot of just energy that's teeming through me, but in a Virgo way at this point. So it's time for me to pull it into recluse mode and actually get down to like the super soul work of this so I can put out the best content for you guys. So if you haven't already, listen to Real Talk with Michelle, episode 1 through 13. Get into there, write down some stuff, send it to me. You can email me at realtalkwithmichelle@gmail.com. You can also send me a message in the Anchor app. I can hear your voice. Just send me a message. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Again, this was Real Talk with Michelle, and it was talk about love, you know, on its base level, like where we start with it, which is how we like to be loved, how we like to receive love. And I'd love for you to sit down with yourself tonight as your homework and really get into there. Again, listen to the content. Thanks for tuning in to Real Talk with Michelle, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.